Here's a question for you. Everybody has one, but you may or may not know it. I'll give you a second or two to think about it. If you said grandmothers, that's correct. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, is my grandmother. My grandmother is Ruby Mae Evans. She's been very influential in my life. She has always been there for me. And really, she stepped into the matriarch role when I was 12. My dad left. When he left, my mom had to get a job, and she was working second and third shift and first, so she worked swing shift on all the shifts. So pretty much I was grandma's boy. Grandmother always cooked for us and took care of us, and that's where my love of cooking started. As you probably figured from my previous presentations, I love to cook, and she had a great influence on that. Coming up cooking, it would just be me and her. I learned a lot of the old recipes from grandmother. Grandmother had all these great sayings. Some of them were pretty funny. One was, a man needs to learn how to cook and clean, because he only needs a woman for one other thing. And that was my grandmother. She always had a quotation for everything. One of her other favorite one was, if you're feeling bad, it's just your allergies. Go take you some allergy mess and you'll be fine. Whether it was the flu, pneumonia, sinus infection, whatever it was, it always boiled down to you just had an allergy problem. That pollen's starting to fall and your allergies are acting up. I remember we were cooking. We used to cook about anything, but we were cooking. I'd go over and we'd cook seafood dinners. We would take fish and cook, and she always taught me, when you cook, you clean. You clean as you go. And actually, when we were cooking, people would come in and try to snitch some, and Grandma would always say, no, you got to wait till it's done. Only cooks in the kitchen. And that philosophy really has stuck with me. A lot of times it drives my wife crazy, because, again, when I cook, I don't want you in the kitchen. Just stay out of the kitchen and let me do what I got to do. So that's always been a bother to my wife. She always come up with these things. Remembering back, and I said this before, she had a saying for everything. I know my cousin went to college, and Grandmother would say, what are you going to college for? My cousin would say, I'm going to college to get a degree in biology. Well, what do you want to do? I don't know. Grandma looked at her and said, well, if you're going to college to get a biology degree, the answer should be a biologist. And Grandma would always say, if you don't know what you're going to do, don't waste your money doing it. So, of course, she gave my cousin a hard time because she went to college, actually went 6 years to get a degree. Actually didn't get a job as a biologist. And my grandmother gave her the dickens. She would tell her, you wasted $50,000-$60,000. You could have gone to technical school. You could have got an education in something else as a nurse. You could have spent that money on a house. You just wasted money on an education you're not using. If you're going to get an education, use that education. Knowledge is power. Grandma always said that, and that sort of always stuck with me. And I went to school. I had started going to school and backed out because of the school dropped the curriculum. So now I'm going back to school for something I enjoy, which is the safety and environmental health and safety. But grandmother, she was a pistol. She always had a saying for everything. Every Christmas we would go get together. We would cook pies for all of our friends. So every Thanksgiving to Christmas, we cooked probably 20, 30 pies. She'd give all those out to all her friends every year, not without any qualms whatsoever. So she was very influential to me. That was my heart. And she passed away about 6 years ago. I was actually on a business trip in Tampa, so it was it was tough. And I miss her very much, but a lot of the things she's instilled in me, I still have to this day. A lot of the recipes that she's had, I have, no one else has, because that's the things we just shared. But I thought I'd just take this moment to share my life with my grandmother with you. I miss her very much, and hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.